Hello, my name is Sam, and today we will be recapping the last few playoffs games. We have a whole video recapping every single game one of the NBA playoffs, but some series has gone up to 2 games, some has 3, and let's recap last night's games. And we're going to start off with the kind of the weird game with the Clippers versus the Suns. As you know, Kawhi Leonard was ruled out kind of in the middle of the afternoon yesterday with the aggravated knee, and it kind of just messed up my whole mood about this game. I was really thinking, man, the way Kawhi's been playing and how close these games have been, like Kawhi might win this and it might be Clippers in 6. I had Suns in 6, but now it's really looking like Suns in 6. But hopefully Kawhi can be healthy. And hey, props to the role players of the Clippers, because even with this, no Paul George, no Kawhi, they stepped up and they made it a really close game. They made Devin Booker and Kevin Durant play over 40 minutes, which is not going to be sustainable for the Suns. Monty Williams really needs to figure out some rotations. He needs to figure something out where those two guys are not playing over 40 minutes, especially every single game this series. I mean, yes, Devin Booker ended up with 45 points and Kevin Durant ended up with 28 points, but I mean, at some point, Kevin Durant he has a bad history of injuries. Like, at one point, his body might break down eventually. It might be round 2 with the well-rested Nuggets, who look like they're going to sweep the Timberwolves, and we'll talk about that later. But, I mean, hopefully Monty Williams can figure something out, because what if the Clippers steal the game and then they push it to 7, and then you have Kevin Durant and Devin Booker playing over 40 minutes every single game in 7 games? That's crazy. You can't have that. Chris Paul needs to step up. I mean, all the role players need to step up, and it's more Monty Williams needs to fix rotations. That's all. But I mean, shout out to them. Russell Westbrook stepped up. He made it real close. 30 points, 12 assists, and 8 rebounds. Huge game from him. And Norman Powell with 42 points. They kept it close, but at the end of the day, the Suns pulled it off, and 2-1 series. And they had the next game on Saturday, which is crazy. They have 2 games on Saturday in crypto. The Clippers have the earlier game, and the Lakers have the later game, which we'll talk about later. And hopefully, I'm hoping the Clippers will pull this off. I'm kind of rooting for the Clippers in this series. And let's start off with the next game. The first game on yesterday, which is the 76ers versus the Brooklyn Nets. I'll go over this pretty fast because it looks like the 76ers are going to sweep these guys. Pretty much 2 minutes into the game, Nicholas Claxton and Joel Embiid just go at it. Joel Embiid did throw a kick that was kind of... we've had a lot of kicks this playoff series, but some people were saying he should have got ejected. He should have, that was a flagrant 2, but I mean, I don't know. It was 2 minutes into the game, and I personally thought that was, it was a bad kick. It was a bad kick. I don't know about as bad as Draymond's, but it was a bad kick. But at the end of the day, Harden even got ejected for I think it was a weak ejection. I mean, he was having a great game finally. He was finally stepping up with he had 21 points, 5 rebounds and 4 assists. But Tyrese Maxey was the one that clutched up the game. I believe he scored the last 10 points in the fourth quarter, tied it up, took them the lead, and Tyrese Maxey was the one that clutched up this game for them. But at the end of the day, it looks like the 76ers are just going to sweep the Nets, and that's what they need from them. Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson have been amazing, but they're going to get swept. It looks like they're going to get swept at the end of the day. Sixers need a sweep so they can get some rest for the Boston Celtics, what it looks like, even with them, might sweep in their series, and we're going to talk about that in a bit. And with the most controversial game of yesterday, the Golden State Warriors versus the Sacramento Kings. No Draymond Green. We know the whole situation. I won't get into it. But Draymond Green suspended 1 game for stomping on Sabonis. And the Warriors looked amazing. They pretty much took over from the start. They just looked like the hot hand. The crowd was behind them, and this is what they needed. And Steph Curry had a master class, which looks like that's what they need every single time for them to win. And Steph Curry took over. He won. He won them the game. 36 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. And Kevon Looney turned into Hakeem Olajuwon yesterday with 20 rebounds and 9 assists. That is ridiculous. Those are the games like that you need to win against the Sacramento Kings. Domantas Sabonis also dominating the paint with quite a bit of rebounds. But Kevon Looney with 20 is ridiculous. Hopefully they can keep it up. And this, win or lose this series, it kind of puts a question mark, especially with what's next for Draymond. Like how much is enough with him being suspended for the LeBron thing, the Steven Adams thing, and then now this, and him just constantly, like, how much, when is enough for the Warriors? Because he's up for a contract this year, and I don't know if they're gonna really pay him the money that he wants. Of course, with the Jordan Poole situation and him getting paid, does Draymond Green have a role for this team? Of course, he has a role, but is bringing him back worth it? Isn't, like, it's gonna be such a high price to bring him back, and like the drama that kind of goes with him. I mean, comment down below what you think of that. But I mean, that's what they need, the other guys to step up, and I'm hoping that the Kings pull this off. I'm hoping the Kings in 5. I hope they win this one and then they win in Sacramento. And if they win that game to go to the second round of Sacramento, which that building would be electric. Electric. Kings in 5. I'm ready. And today we got 3 games today. We got the Atlanta Hawks versus the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics ran through the Atlanta Hawks in game 2. It kind of wasn't really. DeJounte Murray showed out with 29 points. Derek White, MVP of the series so far. Jaylen Brown has, but Derek White has been an underrated player. He has stepped up over 20. I think he's averaging over 25 points or something like that. Amazing. This is the Derek White that they need the whole playoff run. Like, if Derek White's playing like this and everyone's playing the way that they should, this is a championship winning team. That's what they need from him. And Trae Young's kind of been non-existent here and there, but hope he sets up. Hope he can steal one in Atlanta, but I mean, here, the Boston Celtics, all they need to do, not play with their food, sweep the Atlanta Hawks and get some rest before playing, looks like, the Philadelphia 76ers. In the next game of today, we have the New York Knicks versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. In Game 2, the Cleveland Cavaliers defense finally showed up, but Donovan Mitchell, unfortunately, didn't show up. He had 17 points, but, I mean, can you blame him? The man puts his heart and soul into every single game. But good thing Darius Garland stepped up, and Evan Mobley was a board monster last game. New York basketball is back in Madison Square Garden. Here, hopefully, Jalen Brunson can have a good game back. He kind of struggled on the field because, I mean, the Cavs have the best defense in the league. What do you expect? But here, hopefully, they can steal a win in the Garden and make it a series. And probably, to me, probably the most boring series, the Timberwolves versus the Nuggets. The Nuggets have absolutely just ran through them. The Timberwolves did have a comeback in Game 2, but playoff Jamal Murray, with 40 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds. Anthony Edwards also had himself 41, but Nikola Jokic, 27, 9, and 9, almost a triple-double. I mean, what more can you ask for? The 1 seed dominating the 8 seed. I mean, it is what it is. Hopefully they sweep, get some rest. Let the Suns and the Clippers take themselves to 7 while they just sit there and relax and wait there in Denver for home court advantage. I mean, what more can you ask for them? The most crazy series, the Lakers versus the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies won Game 2. Xavier Tillman turned into, I mean, he was out of his mind. 22 points and 13 rebounds. And the Lakers showed here the shots were not falling for them at all. And pretty much LeBron James and Rui Hachimura have been balling for them. And the rest of the guys have not been. They weren't there today. Or they weren't there last game in Game 2. And that's what they need. That's what they need to win. That's how they won Game 1, because Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura and LeBron and AD had a solid game. But everybody else was kind of non-existent. Congrats to Rui Hachimura for being, I believe, the highest player since Magic Johnson in Lakers history to have the most points off the bench. I mean, he's going to get it back this season just because of these playoff performances. Hopefully he can keep it up, because the Lakers definitely need that. And here, it seems like for the Grizzlies, no problem. They won here without Ja. Hopefully he can come back and, I mean, push the series. Hopefully they can win in 5 or 6. I'm rooting for the Grizzlies here. Grizzlies in 6. What's your comment down below? What do you think so far of these NBA playoffs, and what are your second round predictions? Who do you think is going to win, and what do you think the future is for Trae Young and the Hawks with them getting swept, Draymond Green and the Warriors, and even Rudy Gobert with the Timberwolves? And what is the future for them? Do they have a future with their team? I know the Timberwolves gave up a lot of picks just to have Rudy Gobert. Trae Young, they already have the green light to explore trades for him. And the Golden State Warriors, if they lose, really have decisions to make with Draymond Green. But of course, the playoffs are the playoffs. They need to focus on that right now. And I want you to comment down below what you think. I want you to make sure you like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time with more content.